Hey, I'm Barak. I like to make stuff and like to talk about making stuff. And today I want to talk about props. Props are always thrilling for me because they're pieces of art that come to represent ideas that are much bigger. And they're doing a ton of work you don't expect because they're engineered to tie a bunch of story elements together seamlessly. And sometimes they're the star and they stand out, but sometimes you just need them to do their job and sit in the background. They have to hit a tone, a certain look, and they have to live in the world of the project. And also they need to tell more of the story in its details. I learned all this making an indie movie called Spell. And I remember thinking when I wrote it, like, well, I'm glad I don't have to come up with all these props. I'm glad somebody else has to do that. But since we were making an indie movie, there was no budget and I had to end up making half the stuff the night before. So here's a couple fun props I made for our movie Spell. The ancient skin. In the movie, there's this Icelandic guy who reveals that his family has been passing down this ancient magical spell from generation to generation.
This has been with my family for centuries. My father gave this to me. His father gave it to him.
And it comes in two important dramatic scenes. So if the prop looks bad, the audience's suspension of disbelief crashes at just the worst moment because the story needs you to be feeling in that moment. You know, either wonder or betrayal or fear. Whatever it is, you need to feel that. And there's no time for you to go, oh, that prop looks fake. It can't happen in that scene. It cannot stick out. So the night before, I said, hey, can I see that really important prop that we're using tomorrow that the whole movie depends on? And they're like, actually, can you make that? Also, we have nothing for you to make it with. Also, we're in Iceland and none of us understand how the stores work. Seriously, I've spent a lot of time and been all over that country, and I don't know to this day where someone would buy something like a towel, much less like specific art supplies. Anyways, the prop is described in the script as being this ancient piece of leather, tattooed with ancient symbols. Also, it needs to come out in the middle of a scene, so it can't be big and bulky. It has to like come out of somebody's pocket, so that dictates the size of it. Also, it has a symbol you don't see until a later scene, so that means there's got to be a way to hide that. Okay, I got the design. How do we make it? And we had just barely enough materials to do this. We had a super cheap piece of leather we got from a craft store. There was a knife from the Airbnb. We found a tube of brown paint and I had a marker. Boiling this leather in tea, cutting it, hitting it, scraping it with the knife, and like really weathering the hell out of this thing. Look, it's not the most amazing prop, but I'm proud of it because it served its purpose in both scenes and it did not stick out enough to take anyone out of the story.
This is love to stay.
I'm happy with that one. Sketty.
You've seen this.
That's Stumpy. From Pischetti?
You know Paschetti.
Of course I know Pischetti. And his little dog, Ketchup.
Yeah, man, I draw Paschetti.
Movie, my character is a cartoonist, but I wanted it to tell so much more about this character. Like, one of the themes of the movie is about choosing. My character needs to choose, to not just coast through life, make his own decisions. I wanted to reflect that in a little glimpse of his career. I thought how much it would suck for an ambitious cartoonist to be trapped drawing a really lame old cartoon that nobody enjoys.
I mean, I don't know if I'd call this greatness, but thank you so much.
So I thought, Family Circle. I wanted to look like Family Circle with like a little Dennis the Menace in it. So I created a look for it and I created characters. There's the lead character, Sketty. He's got a dog named Ketchup. I ended up doing a ton of drawings and some finished cartoons, and we even like made a mug that appears later in the movie. The tattoo. I made this design because I didn't actually want to take a real existing Icelandic stave, which are these ancient magical symbols that they have that have different meanings and purposes.
This is like to reveal a thief. This is like to keep your cow's milk from curses.
Yeah, I don't want curse cow milk.
So I did a bunch of designs and we settled on this one.
Oh, wait, go back. That one.
A side note, so we shot this in a tattoo shop in Reykjavik, and I was actually going to get the tattoo done for real, so we needed a real tattoo artist there. And so as he was preparing to tattoo me, I went like, hey, would you mind saying a couple lines in Icelandic? And he went, oh man, I don't know Icelandic. I'm from Alabama. Oh, you don't speak any Icelandic? No. Well, can you say no in Icelandic? I don't think so. It's just the word nay. Can you say the word nay? I was like, yeah. So here's how it came out in the movie.
Is this gonna hurt?
Nay.
The guy's awesome. Also, there's a line in the movie where one of the characters says this.
These are really popular with tourists.
Oh, I don't want that. I want a tourist one. Might as well get a barbed wire tattoo.
This is a lie. The really cool drawings we were looking at belong to this tattoo artist. The really lame tattoos, the kind that all the tourists get, are the staves. They're pretty hack. So I just want to publicly say, this guy's stuff is super cool. My design was super lame. Also, I got the real touristy thing. The rune stones, the coolest props in the movie. My character is wandering the wilderness and he keeps finding these magical rocks scattered over the countryside.
This is a sacred stone. This is a rune stone.
Oh yeah, Inga was showing me those.
It tells the story of those who lived here, died here. It's marked by magic.
They've been there 1,000 years and they're covered in staves and Norse writing and symbols. So we needed to make these. I researched these real stones in Norway. None exist in Iceland, so we had to make our own. So I sketched some out and I sent it to our art department. Who was our art department? It was one guy, a very stressed out Icelandic dude with no budget, who made these beautiful rune stones. I loved how they blended into nature. It looks like there's 6 of them in the movie, but I think he only built like 3. We would just show one angle per scene, and then so it looked like a whole new stone. I think he did an incredible job making these. They really stick out, and they fit into the world perfect. Like they stand out in the right way. And it's this sense of wonder and mystery. I'm really happy with how they turned out. Except I had always pictured that I would make them. It's half the reason I put them in the script, because I love sculpting foam and making it look like rocks. But I never got to touch these rocks until they were on set and we were shooting. Luckily, this guy killed it. But I've always wanted to make my own runestone, so I did. I made this miniature one that hangs on a wall. So next week, I'm gonna show you exactly how I made this step by step. So maybe you can make your own or learn how to make some nice fake rocks. Hopefully next time you watch a movie, like you'll pay attention to these props and see like an artist made this. That sometimes you see a movie and you go like, man, that sucked. But really it's a collection of work by 1,000 artists giving their very best ideas to the project. I'm making stuff all the time. Come back soon. Check out my Instagram and my Twitter and every other bullshit thing I'm trying to do right now. That was a bad